Hello everyone and welcome to a concise analysis and summary of the Final Fantasy XIV Frankfurt Fan Fest keynote address that took place just last night on the 18th of February 2017. Now, a large segment of this address was concerned with summarizing the details we already know about the upcoming expansion Stormblood from the previous Japanese and North American fan festivals, and we're going to skip over this, but for those of you who would like a refresher, we have videos on the channel regarding the previous keynote addresses here and here. Now, we began with what is now presumably the full version of the Stormblood trailer, of which we had previously only seen about half. The second half of this trailer told us visually most everything that Yoshida's address would subsequently explain. We will be crossing the seas to the far eastern continent of Othard, and exploring select regions of this land which are currently under the control of the Garlean Empire, and which we will discuss in detail shortly. We see a character whom appears to be the Warrior of Light here in the regalia of a samurai, making trouble for the Imperials in a port town named Kugane in tandem with Yugiri, a pet falcon, and the as yet unintroduced Gosetsu. For those for which the trailer was not sufficient confirmation, Yoshida appeared following the trailer dressed in the artifact gear of the samurai, and the very first topic of his address was in fact how this job will be introduced in Stormblood. No doubt this already is and will continue to be a point of controversy in the community, but Samurai is the second of only two new jobs to be introduced with Stormblood, second to Red Mage, and it too will be a DPS, a melee DPS, sharing gear with Monk and therefore carrying strength as its primary stat. It looks from the animations teased that the Samurai will have at least two stances, and the battle design described seems to imply that it will utilize three forces, Setsu, Getsu, and Ka, in combination to generate different effects in a way not dissimilar to the Mudra system of the other Far Eastern job, Ninja. The Samurai will wield katanas, and as a nice piece of extra flavor, each katana will have a unique scabbard design as well. I should reiterate again that we finally have a hard confirmation that this is the final job to be announced for Stormblood. That means no Blue Mage and no Dancer, at least certainly not until 5.0. After spending some brief time readdressing the features of the expansion revealed at previous fan festivals and live letters, Yoshida showed us some closer looks at the new zones we will be exploring in and around Othard, beginning with the town that hosted the second half of the trailer, Kugane. Rather than being on Othard proper, Kugane is situated in the southwesternmost bay of the island chain of Hingashi, an isolationist nation which we might think of as the Japan to Othard's China, or to Othard as Vilbrand and Linsula Mincer is to Eorzea. The astute observer might also notice surrounding this island chain the four Japanese cardinal deities Genbu, Ryu, Suzaku, and Byakko, to which I will assure you that the extended map of the three great continents will definitely be the subject of a future video or videos on the channel. In any case, we can see a few shots of the town of Kugane before we move on to the Ruby Sea on the coast of Othard proper, with the single largest Jenga tower ever constructed, truly the crowning achievement of the states of Othard. Then we have the region of Yanxia, home to the town of Doma itself, or what is left of it, which we can see here, and were assured by Yoshida would be a place in which we will encounter a very heavy Garlean presence, unsurprisingly. Then we have the great expanses of the Azim Steppe, named for the Aura sun deity, presumably their iteration of the Eorzean goddess Azema. It is here that we will encounter the myriad nomadic Aura tribes, their sacred monuments, further Yanxian villages, and what appears to be either some great portal or force field of Garlean design, leading to or protecting what remains to us for now a mystery. From these zones, we proceeded to discover hints at a couple of new dungeons which seemed to take place over the course of our odyssey in crossing the oceans to Othard. First, a great sea of shipwrecks and some clear allusion to the Flying Dutchman, most likely taking place here in the Sea of Ash, a dangerous stretch of crags aptly named the Drown. The second is less obvious, but I suspect might be in the Siren Song Sea, a kind of ghostly lighthouse stalked by the restless undead. Once again, I believe that these dungeons are two trials which we shall face in our journey to cross the vast expanses of ocean between Aldenard and Othard. Finally, we have the fourth residential area of Shirogane, a Far Eastern district with Far Eastern housing and furnishings being designed to coincide with the doubling of maximum furnishings allowed within each estate, both new and existing, with 4.0. Now, while that was the extent of the new zones discussed, there is one place that Yoshida failed to mention which was featured in the trailer, this underwater globe in the Ruby Tide. Is this the sanctuary of the surviving Doman resistance, or is it the home of the new beast tribe? I would love to hear your thoughts. Speaking of the new beast tribe, they have been revealed to be the Kojin, which players of Final Fantasy XI might recognize as closely resembling the Kadav. Inhabitants of the Ruby Sea, they do have settlements under the water and are skilled and open traders, revering the Kami, which they believe to reside in all things, and particularly in rare treasures and artifacts. Their primary god, Susano, Lord of the Revel, is the long-anticipated primal debuting in Final Fantasy with Stormblood, although it has appeared in Bravely Default as well as many other popular franchises, and will of course be the subject of a future video. And that was honestly all the significance of the keynote address, apart from the preview of Nobuo Uematsu's latest composition and theme of Stormblood titled Revolutions, which I cannot play for you for copyright reasons, but sounds like a particularly uplifting Eastern Bloc national anthem. We were, however, left with this piece of artwork, featuring the Warrior of Light, Yugiri, Ralbon, Xenos Ye Galvus, the Lady in Red, and a few as yet unrevealed figures, which I'm sure we're all going to have a good deal of fun ruminating about. And that is it for the Frankfurt FanFest keynote, so I hope you have plenty of food for thought. The Letter from the Producer Live Part 35 is scheduled for tonight, when this video comes up, at 1:30 AM PST or 4:30 AM EST. I will be commenting on it live on twitch.tv/EthysAsher, or you can check back here in a day or two for a summary video on YouTube. For now, I would love to hear your thoughts below about Samurai, Doma, and the other reveals of the EU Fan Festival so far, and until next time, I am Ethys. Thanks for watching.